growing today than agri-processing platform Agrizy has raised $9.8 million in a Series A funding round, co-led by Accion and Omnivore. Founded in 2021, this startup provides MSMEs with a fully managed B2B marketplace for agri-food supply chain and processing. Now, with this new funding, it aims to get into new areas, geographies, value-added services, and offer financial aid or services to its community as well. For more on the company's growth roadmap, I have with me Vicky Dodani, who is the co-founder of the company. Also with me is my colleague Shruti. Vicky, thanks very much for your time here on CNBC-TV18. Since we're having you here for the first time, tell us a bit about Agrizy and the work that you do with MSMEs and the kind of marketplace you provide and the size of the opportunity that you've assessed, which you're tapping into.
Sorry, thanks a lot for having me on the show. So about Agrizy. So Agrizy is a B2B managed platform which is actually trying to organize, digitize, and simplify the food processing industry in the country. We have multiple products and solutions. All of this are actually, curated for MSME food processors. So we help them, secure global demand from multiple buyers across the globe. We also help them with advisory services, in terms of taking these MSME food processors globally compliant, right, in terms of quality and process standardization. We also help them with, I would say, the working capital support from former financial institutions, right? So this is what we do in a nutshell for MSME food processors.
All right, Vicky, thanks for taking us through your business model. Let's get to the fundraise now. Give us a sense of how much you've raised so far and how you plan to deploy this $9.8 million raised from the current Series A round.
Sure. So we had raised about $4 million in our seed round, and now about close to $10 million, from our Series A. There are multiple, I would say, initiatives that we have planned for this from this fundraise point of view. So there are broad four themes, I would say. The very first one is that we would want to expand into newer geographies. So international expansion is the first, area of priority for us, right, where we would be spending or investing per se, right. The second thing that we are looking at is in terms of building processing capabilities, right. So today our teams, they work with the quality and procurement teams, so very large brands in terms of, custom processing for them. Ideally, what we want to build here is, a R&D team in-house, which is working very closely with the R&D and the new product development teams of our buyers, right? So a processing capability in-house, which involves quality labs, which involves R&D, for our buyers, right? The third area where we would want to invest is in terms of building this Fintech platform, right? So typically, I'll tell you more about what we are doing in Fintech, but ideally we would want to enable these MSME food processors with working capital from formal financial institutions at competitive rates. And the fourth area for our development, going forward, is going to be on continuing the momentum on tech and product. Whatever I've said so far, tech and product plays an integral role of whatever we build at Agrizy. So it is continuing that momentum, right? So in summary, building or expanding into newer geographies, especially international expansion, processing capabilities, Fintech platform, and tech and products. These are the four areas for us where we're going to invest.
Vicky, let me quickly ask you about that financial services foray. You said you're going to be collaborating with formal financial institutions. What will this tie-up look like? Will there be some kind of co-lending? Are you applying for an NBFC license, or what is the kind of fees you're looking to make from this business?
Sure. So at this point of time, we're doing multiple experiments here. The idea here is that we are at a vantage point from enabling this entire supply chain right, in agri and allied industries. So we understand that agri and allied industry comes under the priority sector lending norms of the RBI, but even then the banks are not able to meet their targets, right? So it is because there is no organized source of truth, I would say, or organized platform where the transactions are being carried out, right? So what we do here is that we have built our own scoring models, right, which is evaluating multiple parameters of this MSME, their transaction history, their payment history with us. Along with that, what we're also doing is that, because we are enabling these MSME processes who are already working with us, right? So we enable the banks to actually connect with these MSME processes, evaluate them, right? So we help them doing that. And because we are doing multiple transactions with these processes, we have some kind of leverage in the overall ecosystem.
All right, Vicky, let's talk about your scale and reach. Tell us how many MSMEs are you serving through your platform currently, and what pace is business growing? If you could give us a sense of what your financials are currently and the projections for the coming year.
Sure. So we are at about $35 million annualized revenue run rate, right? And we would want to grow this to about 10x in the next 2.5 years. That's the plan that we have taken up for ourselves. Apart from that, I would say in terms of the current scale, so we are specifically operating in only 4 categories, right? And those product categories, I would say all these categories have demand in the international market, right? And we're working with more than 300 suppliers today across the country. And the idea is to give them global demand and global access to the market.
Well, Vicky, that's all the time we had, but thank you very much for sharing your thoughts here on CNBC TV18. It was a pleasure speaking with you.